Well, thank you, James. And first and foremost, I hope it's not a serious injury. I hope it's something that he has no time off, that he can continue, because he's in the mix now. He's in the mix and he's really doing some of his best work. So let's talk about what went wrong. Let's talk about the setup. The setup is obviously Penta up here, Solo in front of taller Tonga. We call him taller Tonga.
Yeah,
so
near enough.
Basically, it's going to be a hurricanrana, a running hurricanrana. He goes in this direction. Then when he grabs him, Solo will take a front rolling bump as Penta goes this way with that. I know this in theory and from watching because I've never done this move, and probably I would break every bone in my body. So Penta's much, much better even getting injured than I could ever hope to be. So let's play it in full speed, go, and right there. Now, you can tell that it's a very light hurricanrana because he barely scissors Solo and lets him take his own bump. That's not the part that we're looking at right now. It looked very pedestrian from here. So the setup is from here, he runs, gets a running start, and then just lets Solo take his own bump. But of course, we're looking at Penta. We think he's selling right now. We think he's selling. We're not sure. They go to commercial, correct? Come back with the replay that we're about to play right here. Here's the better angle. Once again, set up, basically jump off here, do the hurricanrana. Solo takes the bump. Let's go slow here. Everything looks good. Right there. Because it's not Solo coming down. That's why I really wanted to emphasize that Solo is not like kind of hindering Penta's backflip to clear the hurricanrana. Now, could this be a height issue? That's where I think it goes wrong. Whenever you do a move like this in this style, it's very important in a way to be shorter than the person you're doing it to. That's why Rey Mysterio can do these kinds of moves to a lot of people. He clears everything. Penta's much taller. Dare I say it, is he just as tall, if not taller, than Solo? Because Solo's a pretty
Near
short
enough.
guy.
I think Penta's build is 6 foot.
So we look at it right here, frame by frame. Usually right here, you need somebody to be taller, whether they're taking the bump themselves or not. And of course, do you think a lot of this has to do with, James, this right here? Doing it on the floor, those taut, tight mats, as opposed to a ring that has a little bit of bounce to it. I think that might have something to do with it. But what I think happened is when he came down, that shoulder jammed forward. That left shoulder just kind of came out of the socket because afterwards he couldn't even move that arm, raise it. It was tight. He was mad. It was a very real organic reaction of an athlete that gets hurt. I'm mad. I'm going to be figured out of everything. You get all these things running through your mind, but I definitely think it could be a regular shoulder separation, an AC joint separation. I hope to God it's not a rotator cuff because that's the worst of it. Dislocated shoulder is one thing, AC joint, maybe collarbone. But man, if you tear your rotator cuff, you're out for a year or more. Because like if we...
Let me give you this.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. A couple of people wrote this when I did the video yesterday, and I'm going to quote the Gabagool who commented on my video. He said, Penta's also said that the muscle in his arm and shoulder were disconnected somehow from a prior injury and needed surgery to correct it, but opted out due to the heal time. This was a while back. So it could have been an extension of that prior issue never healing correctly. So apparently he's had issues with his left arm and left shoulder beforehand as well. So this could be a re-aggravation. And at this point, if it's happened a second time, might WWE insist that he had the surgery?
Yeah.
Could miss out on a WrestleMania payday or something.
Yeah, I think so. And you said in the video, too, I feel bad for his brother because his brother was supposed to win the tag belts with Andrade. Obviously, the health is number one concern, and I'm sure Rey Fenix feels the same way about his brother Penta. But you want to talk about a guy through no fault of his own, as you said, just keeps, okay, that's gone, can't do anything with you. Then they were supposed to get them back together, correct? Now they got
yeah.
So maybe, but it could be.
It was going to be on AAA as well. Big match with Dominic Mysterio and El Grande Americano. That's not happening now. And Rey Fenix was going to win the tag titles with, supposedly, Andrade before he did his thing and basically got himself fired.
Yeah.
So yeah, like he's got the worst luck of anyone who hasn't been injured this year.
Yeah, but here we go with Penta right here. You can see the frustration in his face. Just whacks the guardrail, and his arm is literally at his side and pinned to his body. So we may have, just my thought, I think it's a shoulder injury, but a lot of times you can tear your bicep based on something that happens in the upper shoulder, and it just tears your bicep. It could be both, and that would be really, really catastrophic. A tear in the arm and a tear in the shoulder, one or the other. I'm hoping, and it sounds so crazy to say, I'm hoping he just dislocated his shoulder or something that can just heal with rest. This could be a great opportunity, by the way, to basically say, how should I say it? Have vignettes with Penta for a few weeks, then have vignettes with Penta and Rey Fenix as he's ready to come back after whatever injury, even if it's just for a few weeks. Repackage them, show them vignettes, go back to their home, talk about things, whatever it might be. This here, Penta could come back more over than what he came in at.
Can you go to the beginning, the live feed of it happening? Because I want to ask you a question. So if you just play it through slowly, yeah. Because originally you said the Hurricane Rana was really loose, so Solo could take his own bump, which is fair enough. But do you think it was so loose that just that kind of a tiny bit of a slip, a bit of a lowering, so when Penta tries to break his fall with his arm there, that's how he ends up jamming it? Because it doesn't look like much, even in slow-mo.
Yeah, I you know what? That's a great point. Because usually whenever I've taken it, I've given somebody like a good base, and I've actually resisted and grabbed the legs, let them kind of float over and clear, and then I take the bump. If there's anything here, I would say that Solo taking his own bump and even taking it a little off time from the Hurricanrana, that's what's there. I think it was definitely too loose, and I'd rather have somebody grab my legs, let me take it over, and then when I'm clear, then I take, like, for instance, he took this kind of bump. So as you take this kind of bump, let's go to the replay here. So as he's taking this bump, I would hold on to Penta, let him go through, and then when he's through, I roll. The other thing happened here, Solo rolls, and Penta's not even cleared yet. He kind of, it's so loose. If you hold on to the legs and you're high towards the pelvic region, if you're taller, or smaller, should I say, because Penta's taller, it gives his head a chance to clear around. Then essentially, he's almost taking the bump at the same time as me, a flat, like, face bump, and I'm taking the rolling bump. So that's an excellent observation. I believe there needed to be more resistance on Solo's part to make sure he can clear. And then we are, you know what? I don't understand this, like the Ridge Holland Big E thing, a ton of other things. Why do people with different heights not have enough awareness for the match to realize we're like a double backdrop? I've seen people do double backdrops that are 4 or 5 inches in different height. You know what I mean? That's the first thing I look at, like, oh, you're too tall, I'm too short, I'm too tall. It's just not going to work.
Solo is billed at 6'2".
He doesn't look anywhere near that height.
No?
Penta looks a little taller than him in some regard.
Yeah, Penta's billed at 6 foot, Solo's 6'2". So, hey, you can give your own heights. What can I tell you?
Hey, what are you, a height smartass?
Hey, Adam Cole was 6 foot at one time.
No, I was
6'3"
at one time, but the neck surgery took care of that. And I don't want that for Penta. Once again, we talked about Penta in the past. I was always a huge fan of his work. I loved his match with Kenny Omega where Jericho was the Sky. No, was that? He wrestled and then Jericho came out in Chicago, disguised as Penta after the match, correct?
Was that pre-AEW? Like one of the pre-AEW All-Ins?
That was the All-In, the not AEW.
Yeah.
That was All-In Chicago, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
They had a
think
great
that's
match.
right.
Penta and Kenny Omega had some great chemistry.
Did you ever watch Penta in Lucha Underground?
Yes, I did. He wrestled Chelsea Green on one of those episodes.
I think he did,
He gave her
didn't
the
he? Yeah.
Mexican Destroyer, yeah.
Man, that was a weird show.
It was very...
Weirder contracts, apparently.
Yeah, I heard, yeah, but the production, that's where all the money went, not to the wrestlers, right?
You know what the funny thing about Lucha Underground is that they got right somehow. It's, what was he called? Dario Quaid, or whoever, he was like the evil GM. And like, as evil as he was, the most important thing to him was to put on a good show for the fans and to make more money. I was like, man, that's like the most honest promoter in the world. They should bring that back one day.